Hugh Taylor Birch State Park is located in the heart of Fort Lauderdale's burgeoning east side. With a population of 170,000, Fort Lauderdale is part of the 1.8 million people living in Broward County, which is part of the larger metro area of South Florida that has a population of over 6 million. Add over 13 million visitors each year to that, and you understand the need for green space. The park is an urban oasis of 180 acres donated to the state of Florida by Hugh Taylor Birch, a prominent Chicago attorney, just before his death in 1943. Birch wanted to protect his land from development, recognizing that the natural Florida habitat he came to love was disappearing and needed to be preserved as it once was, to be enjoyed by future generations. The park officially opened as a state park in 1954. Hugh Taylor Birch State Park's unique features include a maritime hammock, an estuary tidal swamp, and a coastal dune lake, one of the few remaining slough systems of its kind along the Gold Coast. It is also a part of the very important Biscayne Bay watershed, which is the source of much of our drinking water. This lake was named Helen's Lake by Birch, but has come to be known as Long Lake. It is one of the highlights of our park and runs the full length of the park. Long Lake is a freshwater lake, fed not by a spring but by rain, and was the only source of fresh water for many miles, serving as a haven to wildlife and very early Native American and European settlers. Maps dating back to the early 19th century show a narrow coastal dune lake that stretched up to 9 miles along the barrier island. As development occurred and roads were built, the coastal dune lake was filled in and broken up into a series of smaller lakes. A special feature of the lake is an approximately 5-acre island on the north side of the lake. Our 11.5-acre lake is home to 60 species of fish, 17 species of reptiles, 100 species of birds, 30 invertebrates, 15 mammals, and over 200 species of plants. For various reasons, including the dwindling public funding sources and reduced staffing levels at the park, the lake has been neglected for many years and has turned into a freshwater marsh. It's clogged and choked by overgrown vegetation, debris, and non-indigenous species. This growth has been further fed by fertilizer runoff from the properties on a part of the lake known as the Finger Street neighborhood. The growth of cattail and other aquatic vegetation breaks down over time to increasingly fill in the sediment at the basin of the lake, reducing the depth to only 1 to 2 feet compared with 3 to 4 feet or more originally, eventually becoming an impassable swamp. 1/3 of the lagoon boats can easily navigate. Another third is difficult to navigate, and the remaining 1/3 is closed off completely. Visitors to the park are disappointed when they have to turn back due to this overgrowth and invasive species intrusion. The lake boundaries have narrowed and will soon disappear. Time is of the essence. The problem worsens every day that goes by, increasing the difficulty and the cost of the cleanup. We must act now to clean out Long Lake. Fort Lauderdale and Hugh Taylor Birch State Park are on the verge of losing their freshwater lake, a lake that has important historical and ecological significance. This special habitat, along with much of the park's flora and fauna, is included in the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's South Florida Multi-Species Recovery Plan. The lake has served the park as a wonderful place for families to enjoy basic boating. In addition, thousands of students, including Camp Live Oak campers, visit the lake every year to learn watercraft and other environmental lessons. Bird watchers and animal and plant lovers can observe numerous species while navigating the lake. When restored, it will once again serve to create memories and special moments for all to enjoy from the vantage point of canoes, kayaks, paddle boats, or paddleboards. At the same time, Finger Street residents whose homes are located on the northeast portion of the lake can reclaim the beauty and serenity of their backyards. The innovative relationship between the Friends of Birch State Park and the Florida Park Service allows Friends to pursue its mission to support Hugh Taylor Birch's vision to preserve and conserve the land for future generations. Cleaning out and reviving Long Lake, one of the highlights and recreational centerpieces of Hugh Taylor Birch State Park, is the first step in our effort to bring Birch back for residents and visitors to enjoy for generations. How can you help? Thanks for asking. We need 3 things: funding, equipment, and grants. The funding can be either public or private money, and we estimate we'll need between $150,000 and $200,000. The equipment needs are the use of an aquatic harvester and a flatbed truck to haul the debris away. Finally, the grants could come from the community, the city, the county, the state, or the federal government. Contact the Friends of Birch State Park if you think you can help us.